the BatChat. Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to BatChat. I am just doing my thing here. I am. I wonder what the problem is here. It's saying that my little battery adapter here is not charging properly. Let me see if I can't get that fixed. Sorry for the bad view. Alright, we'll see if that does something. I saw there was one person in the chat already before we got started, and of course it was Arkham Knight Cosplay. What is going on, buddy? Oh, you're already commenting too. Awesome. How did the gig go? The gig went well. It was very, very hot. Sorry, let me get my seat situated. It was very hot, and I definitely got some sun. I don't know if you can tell, but your boy's burnt. It's not good. Not good. I need some people to hop in. I told them we were doing it late, and you're repping for me, and I really do appreciate that. You were telling everyone to hop on and get into the chat because we're starting a little bit later than normal. And where's everyone at? It's just me and you. Which, I mean, I'd be fine with, but it's always more fun when you get other people involved, you know? Let me message the boys and tell them to come on up. Let me get them in here. All right. You sent a quick note. I appreciate it. Yeah, I sent them a note as well. We got some people hopping in. Oh, look at the hamburger meat. Look at Sharp Stud. It's just the V-neck. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Okay. It's just the V-neck. The V-neck's looking good. You get a little chest hair going. By the way, check this out. I don't know if you can see in the light. Yeah, I got a little bit of a bikini tan thing going. You ready for this? Ready? Boom. Farmer's tan, baby. That is how you know that you are redneck. You get a little farmer's tan. By the way, I know he's not watching because he is at MegaCon. I'm going to lower my seat a little bit. Well, maybe. I know he's not watching because he is at MegaCon. I hope he's having a great time. But huge shout out to John. You can kind of see it. He gave me this awesome BatChat mug. The only thing I don't like about it is it's clear, so you can see how basic I am with my creamer and coffee. And, you know, I get guys give me a hard time about drinking creamer in my coffee, and say the same thing to them as I say to you guys now. I can still probably outbench and out squat you, so I think I'm okay drinking a little bit of creamer in my coffee. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, definitely got some bikini tan going. It's just upper body though. So with this gig, we were supposed to dress casual, but still somewhat professional. So still had to wear jeans and boots. And so because of that, my legs are totally fine, but my upper body's just completely destroyed. This is actually the shirt I wore. It's just kind of gross. It's just I didn't feel like changing. So I wore this V-neck, and yeah, you can definitely tell, but it was fine. Short stuff adjusting the seat. Hey, Arkham Knight, that one's for you, buddy. Yeah. Nah, you wish, Derek. Maybe. You're saying carpet does not match the drapes? Well, in the interest of the context of that particular phrase, yes, it actually does. I actually have a little bit of a spike in the front, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. I think you are more or less talking about if my legs are significantly more pale than my upper body, and you would be correct. Now you wish, Derek, was that a are you saying you can outlift me? You probably can. I really can't lift that much. I just like saying that. I mean, I do okay, but and I do better than most cosplayers, because most cosplayers are a little doughy. I'm not judging or anything. It's just, you don't see. There's not really a whole lot of overlap in the fitness and the cosplay community. Not that I'm a part of the fitness community by any means, but I kind of have a foot in that world. So when they're like, yeah, how much do you bench? I'm like, and they're, you ask someone, how much do you bench? And they're like, well, I mean, I've got foam on my bench, like I cut stuff. I don't know. It's a weird day, fellas. I've got fried egg brain. I'm just completely out of it. I'm at the tan. Okay, in the case of the tan, yes, carpet does not match the drapes in the slightest. I have, and I will admit to this, I have been in a tanning bed before. It was merely just in the sense of just self-preservation completely. It was absolutely just, okay, I don't want to, we were going to Florida, and I just did not want to be completely burnt to a crisp like I am right now. So usually I need one really good burn, and then I'm good. So I just paid to get burned, basically. And so yeah, I have tanned before. I've thought about it because, like, with my job, I have to wear long pants. I actually have to wear a long sleeve too, so it's actually hard for me to get tan during the year because I have to wear all year round long sleeve shirts and long pants, boots, the whole 9 yards. So it's very hard for me to tan because I'm outside all day, but I have to wear that because I'm working with a lot of chemicals and stuff like that. So they something about them not wanting us to get cancer and stuff. I don't know, some stupid stuff. They can't tell me what to do with my body, but but I'm compliant, so I still wear that stuff, and just makes it hard to tan. My face will get red, and I'll get a decent tan, but I look doughy, really, really pale everywhere else. So I may have to invest in some tanning visits or something like that. We'll see. But when I mow the yard, I typically will wear, like, if I'm wearing a shirt, I'll wear like a wife beater or something like that, something real thin. And some shorts. I actually have some cut-off shorts that Aaron and Ariana got to experience when they came down a few weeks ago. They're really nice. Tanned and dehydrated, Chunk Mac. We know what happens next. Headache. Then we're back to last time. Yes, yeah. You definitely don't want to be dehydrated. And I do hydrate really well. But I'm usually not outside as long as I was outside today. We started about 10, got out about 2, which isn't that long, but you're in direct sunlight the entire time and just beating down on you. I know my guitars were not happy. In fact, I'm really scared to open the case for my acoustic. For those of you that don't know, yeah, we will get to Batman in a minute, by the way, for all the trolls who are like, why did y'all talk about Batman on BatChat? Whatever. I hope y'all like that ASMR there, but I don't know if you guys knew that, but acoustic guitars tend to be much more susceptible to weather changes and things like that, and humidity especially. It's a very humid day today as well. So electric guitars, for the most part, are fine, which that's usually what I play, but this is an acoustic gig. So my fingers are killing me, by the way, because acoustic's also a little harder to play. The strings are a little heavier, but they're also much more susceptible. So, drastic temperature changes, you take it out in the heat and then sit it in the truck with air conditioner blasting, could cause some issues. So I'm a little worried to open the case and see just like this big crack going down the top, because I really like that guitar a lot. It's my only acoustic. Well, I've got another one, but I'm not taking it. It's my only acoustic, so it'd be an excuse to get another one. But I do like to take care of my stuff, despite the fact that if you look at some of my guitars, they don't look like I take care of them at all. You have a tan and that's what counts. Yeah. I don't know if I'd count this as a tan. This light is doing me a lot of favors, but even then I'm looking pretty pale. But yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see. Hamburger meat plus chest hair. Thanks, Chunk. Let's see here. Oh man, what is everyone doing this weekend? I know we're doing this at a weird time, so we're not going to have as many people in the chat. I see 3 people in. Sound off if you're in here. I only see Arkham Knight and Chunk Mac responding. I like this is chat, BatChat. I want to hear from you guys. So if you are in the chat, sound off. I before before I signed on, I was trolling on Instagram for whatever reason. I really don't know why. Excuse me. And so I really felt like I felt like giving some people a hard time. So I left a couple of funny comments. One of them was on our friend's alter ego. Now this is one of those if you know kind of things. So I don't really want to get in the weeds on this, but they were promoting some of the stuff they made, and my comment was something along the lines of, hey, look, we've talked about this a million times. You need to quit spamming this page with all of your progress pics. We need all the room we can get for all the, I think it said like 420,069 pics of the same, Batman 89 suit with someone going like a tool. So we need to see that as much as possible, but alter egos should not be promoting themselves at all. So, yeah. And then there was another one. I do get these weird. It's just the algorithm of Instagram. My friend Willis and I, we share fitness memes to each other all the time, so we get a lot of fitness stuff sent to our news feeds. And I got one for like Blue Star Nauticals. I know it's not Nauticals because that's like something to do with the ocean, but narcotics. I can't remember what it is. Blue Star. It's a supplement company. Whatever. You guys have seen it. And has anyone else thought it was funny? Yeah, welcome to BatChat. We're talking about this too. So again, shut up if you have a problem with that. What is it about this Blue Star? I can't remember who it is, but Blue Star, you guys have seen the ads. Like, it's always the same thing. You get a guy who's in his mid-40s who is jacked as all get out. I'll give them that. They're also fake natties. Like, it's just ridiculous. Okay, you're 50 years old and you've got, six-pack abs, with 20-inch biceps and everything. Yeah, you're on that Tyson chicken, my friend. Sorry. But they always get these fake natties on there. And they have, like, the skinniest necks ever. Like, what is it? They intentionally try to find these pencil necks. And I'm not the only one to notice. Because every single one of those videos, I get a new spokesman. Because, when one guy gets off cycle and doesn't look as impressive, they'll just go to the next one. I'm kidding. I'm sure they're all natural. But so they'll switch to the next one. And they just find these most pencil neck looking dudes ever. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It must be part of their recruiting process. I made a comment on there, but yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous, man. It's become a meme at this point in the fitness industry. Like, you'll see this like big guy who like has to walk sideways through doors, but have like a neck like with the girth of my unit, and be like, I'm sorry, that was not meant to come out like that. But anyway, so you have this guy with this real skinny neck, and go through there like, hey, new from Blue Star. I got to get off this. It's May 2 to 4 long weekend in Canucks land. That's awesome. Where did JCJ get his Derek boxers? I'll have to ask either Lindsay or Julie. I can't remember who ordered those. Yeah, I'll have to get Lindsay or Julia to let me know where they got that. They're cool though. I've got a pair with him, and he's got a pair with mine. Just felt right, I guess. Man. I don't know if you guys saw earlier my really cool mug. I really like this. As I drink it, you'll be able to see the BatChat logo. That was really, really cool of him. I really appreciate him doing that. And what I really like, too, I'm trying to think of how he got it. Well, I guess he does, for those of you who don't know, he does my garment bags. So when you buy a suit from me, it actually, chunk, golly. He does, so when you buy a suit from me, it comes with a garment bag, and that's the logo. That's actually my old logo. I need to have him update that on the garment bags. I love the cup. We'll keep the cup as it is. I've actually got a really cool new logo. It's basically the same bat. It's a little, they tweaked it a little bit, but Saber Paul did a new logo for me, and I really, really appreciate it. It's great. The only problem is he comes up with this great logo after I ordered a bunch of, not really merch, but I am going to be getting some merch too, by the way, just for fun. But yeah, I have a bunch of like hangers and garment bags, business cards and stuff like that have my old logo on it. Now I've got to like sort that out and get some stuff with a new logo. Batchunk, I would love those socks. You need to definitely get me those socks, man. I would totally wear them. I need socks too, actually. Is no one gonna comment in there? Yeah, AE is always spamming. Always spamming. What's funny is like there's only like one or two people that have a problem with it. That's funny. I don't want to get in the weeds on this either, but I am going to mention it. And I definitely don't want the alter ego guys to feel like I'm speaking for them, but just outside perspective on this. So there has been some there's been some pretty public some pretty public rebukes on the alter ego guys on several of the forums. I'm not going to mention names. Just if you know, you know, you've seen these in the forums. You'll see, you know, other makers post, you know, the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden, so over and over again, we'll see the same stuff from the same makers. Ironically, they're friends of the admin of certain groups, but I guess that's okay, because you know, if it weren't for double standards, some people would have no standards, but alter ego, those guys would go on there and there'll be some public rebukes about it, and then when they try to handle that, try to figure out what the problem is, because they're not really doing anything that's any different from other makers. Essentially, the problem is that a lot of people feel like AE fabricates their reviews because people are, you know, they don't really. I don't really know if anyone's got anything negative to say about them, so people are just kind of threatened by that, and you know, if I had a crappy reputation, I'd be threatened by people who did good work too. You know, it's kind of stupid to me to be like, no, there's no way for you guys to have been in business for this long and no one have any problems with you. It's that to me, that statement. You know, this is what happens when we get on the Batman topic. We just reveal the toxicity of this community. I really got to trim my mustache too. I'm seeing it in the viewfinder, it's driving me nuts. But sorry, but the toxic nature of this community, because we have gotten so comfortable with mediocrity, we've gotten so comfortable with really unacceptable business practices and unacceptable just ways of doing things, that when someone comes around and does something genuinely well and takes care of their customers and doesn't just rely on the fact that, you know, they've got Hollywood connections and they've got a name, and that should just be enough. You should be honored to buy from me. I don't think you understand. My stuff has been on screen before. Like, it's an honor for you to buy stuff from me. That's just such a stupid mentality. So when you get guys like Alter Ego that come in and just do genuinely good work and take good care of their customers, and they're not just dicks, I mean, let's just not mince words about it. I mean, just get some guys out there. They're just dicks. And the alter ego guys, they are, but they're not to their customers. They're really nice to their customers, but if you're in their inner circle, no, they're actually really sweet guys. I shouldn't even say that, but it just they go above and beyond, and that's really the thing. They are threatened by people who go above and beyond. They just want comforting mediocrity. That's what we want from the Batman community, because it makes everyone else uncomfortable. Because I don't know if you guys know this, I try to think of who it was that said it. Really good phrase though, but capitalism grades on a curve. So when you're in a business environment, so like especially something like cosplay, what I mean by that is other makers are judged by the best and the worst. So the worse your worst are, that's hard to say. Um, the easier it is to beat that standard. But the better your best is, you've got to be somewhere in the middle. Otherwise, that the greater that divide is, the harder it is for you to remain mediocre. And a lot of these guys just want to remain mediocre. So when you get someone who raises the standards, makes it hard for them. So that's the only thing I can think of. AE has always done right by me, even gone way above and beyond. So here's the thing about like AE. Full disclosure here. Yeah, we're friends. I'm friends with Thomas and Phil personally. Love those guys. I talk to them pretty much every day. So do I get special treatment? Probably. I don't, they've never outright said it. I definitely don't ask for it. But do I get special treatment? It's reasonable to assume so. Just because you're friends, you will do, it's just stupid to pretend that doesn't happen. Do I get some sort of special treatment? Maybe. I'm not going to say that, one way or another, other than saying, yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny. So I understand that it's hard for me to have a legitimate complaint about anything they do, because I don't know if it's like, I always get the best stuff or whatever. I don't know. So if anyone ever has a bad experience with them, speak up, say something. The reality is, like, I do know a few people that have had experiences with them that were not great. Not with them personally, but like they had some issues with the products, whatever. And AE has always gone above and beyond to make it better. And whether it be a refund or a replacement at great personal cost to them, they really work hard to keep that good reputation that they have. And this is not going to be an alter ego infomercial, but it's just the way it is. I'm sorry if that threatens you. If that threatens you, then step up, or just get out of the way. You've been in this business too long anyway. So if that's that much of a threat to you, quit. Simple as that. Anyway, I'll probably get a message about that one. I know that I was pretty outspoken about having some issues with the same maker, the same forum. So if you go back a few episodes of BatChat, you'll be able to know who I'm talking about, because I did mention names. And I got a message from them. Basically, it was, I didn't even dignify it with a response. I just left them on red because this kind of childish stuff just gets on my nerves. So this guy messaged me saying, hey, I've been watching a few episodes of BatChat, or something along those lines. Hey, been watching a few episodes of BatChat. Really cool stuff. I would love to be on at some point. Ironically, he followed me, I did BatChat on Instagram at that point. Well, I might have been on YouTube at that point. I don't know, but I feel like that one was done on Instagram. He followed me that day. So, no, he has not been watching my stuff. He's just a liar. So he followed me that day and, didn't like that video either. Didn't like any of them, because I checked. But ironically, it was the week that I was talking about him. So what it is someone was in the chat and they snitched to him saying, hey, someone's talking, whatever. And so he messaged me, and rather than just being a man and saying, hey, I don't appreciate you saying this stuff without giving me a chance to defend myself and or tell my side of the story, I'd like to tell my side of the story, or at least like to give you some context. Instead, it's kind of that backhanded, childish, cowardly, dickless, thing of saying, oh yeah, hey, I like the show, I watch it all the time. You don't. I'd love to come on at some point. Like, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, man, because you and I both know you don't watch the show, nor should you, because I don't care. You don't watch the show. You don't like it. You don't want to be on here. You just are. It's like a alpha dog kind of move. Like, I don't know. It's just stupid and really kind of pathetic. So if you do happen to watch this show and you have a problem with the things I'm saying, feel free to just say it directly to me, because I'm a grown man. You're a grown man, allegedly. So we can work this out. But I don't do with that backhanded stuff. Getting a little heated now. I might need to calm down. Uh, let's see. Anth Calwayne. I'm really sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, buddy. Um, I loved going through them. I never had to question anything like where my cal is, or bad communication. They kept me up to date. Fantastic communication, great product. Yeah. Now I will say, uh, I've never had any issues with their product, like quality wise. I've had issues with their products design wise, and they know about this. They do know. Um, and it's never like it's just me being picky or just having certain preferences. And I don't know if you guys notice, I'm a little bit outspoken about my opinion. Now, if it's welcome and they're cool with me talking about it, I would love or talking with them about it. I'd love to tell them, hey, this is what I think about this. Like for instance, as far as urethane gauntlets, they got the best ones on the market. Don't even try. They got the best ones on the market. They're better than Ninko's, better than GC5X, better than Tiger Stone, better than, believe it or not, better than Fanatic Effects, as if that was possible. Better than Alter Ego, which is basically the same thing as being better than not Alter Ego, Applied Science, which the Fanatic ones are a recast of Applied Science. I'm pretty sure it's either they're a recast of the Applied Science version, or maybe the Terrible Props. Maybe Terrible Props. It's the same. It's a recast of one of those. It might be Terrible Props, because I think. Well, let me see if I got this right. And I could be wrong about this, but who cares? Chris is not. He was out of the community. He's going under a different name now. I can't remember what he was going under now, but what a recasted comment, right? So let's see. Applied Science had a file, I believe it was from Deving, for like a one-piece gauntlet, hand wrap DOJ gauntlet thing, that didn't have any texture on it, and had a really crappy looking muscle texture, or muscle definition on it. Just really didn't look good at all. So he retired that. I think he sold those molds to Terrible Props, or maybe they had the same file at some Warrior Crafting. That's who it is. Thank you. So he started selling those. I don't know if he still does. And then around that same time, Fanatics started doing it too. But Fanatics were much worse. Much worse. And by the way, in case anyone's wondering, how do you know it's better than Tiger Stone and GC5 and all that stuff? Because I've had them. I've had every pair of gauntlets out there. Name them, I've had them. I'm telling you, I've had them. And Alter Ego's the best ones. But here's my issue with Alter Ego gauntlets. They are very over-engineered. Admittedly by design. Like, for instance, they have a zipper to zip the hand wraps to the gauntlets, and a urethane strap that goes over it with the clip and everything, the magnetic clip. It's really cool. They look great. They're the best gauntlets out there, but very over-engineered, and that can lead to some problems. Like, Aaron had some issues with his. They use a very heavy-duty separating zipper. The same... Sort of. It's the same brand, and have you had the Ruby's gauntlets? I have, and they're terrible. They're on par with Fanatics gauntlets. So anyway, bleh. Where was I going? You got me distracted. So Aaron they use the same brand and model of separating zipper that I use. YKK, I think number 5 is what they use. They use the black version. I use the antique brass just because I think it looks better, but obviously you want the black on the gauntlets because you don't want them sticking out. And their separating zipper, very, very heavy duty, but because of how they're attached to the gauntlets, if you separate them, good luck. You're not. They're very hard to, if you have them separated, to zip them yourself with the gloves on. So what I do is I just unzip them down most of the way, slip my hand through, then zip it up the rest of the way. But Aaron did not know that. He unzipped the hand wrap. Big no-no. Because that is a pain to zip back on. He unzipped the hand wrap and then couldn't get them to line back up. You've got to get those lined up really, really well to zip them, and that's my issue with them. Now on my suits, they are separating zipper, but I've got them stitched. Well, I can show you actually. I'll be right back. This is a suit for Mr. Michael Enoch, who I don't know if he is in the chat or not. I'm going to get a drink of coffee. Mike, if you're in the chat, sound off, buddy. So this is the zipper I use. This is a YKK number 5 antique brass zipper. Very heavy duty. So you see how it kind of comes to a point there. I guess I could. Kind of comes to a point here. Well, this is actually the end of the zipper. So what I do is I order the zipper slightly longer than I need. I've actually had foam gauntlets too from Foam Cave, and I made them myself. So yeah, I'm telling you, I've had them all. So I order my zippers slightly longer than I need, and then what I do is I join them at the bottom and then stitch over them. I can't tell you how many needles I've broken by not timing it correctly, and the needle actually penetrates the metal zipper teeth and breaks the needle. So fun stuff. But the reason I do it like that is because, one thing, you don't really need a separating zipper on these suits. You don't really need a separating zipper at all on these, but they come in handy. They are easier to install because you can actually take them apart, whatever. So you have that, but you stitch them together like that because once you have to have them lined up perfectly and pushed down all the way, like the tab has to be pushed down into the actual zipper pull all the way in order for it to pull up. I don't really want to be dealing with people messaging me after they get these suits like, I can't get it zipped, like the zipper broke. The zipper didn't break, you just don't know how to zip it. And that's not necessarily an insult, although I do know a few people that probably wouldn't be able to figure this out, but they're difficult. They're certainly difficult. So I just do it like that. I think it looks neater too. I've seen people, in fact, I've got a suit by a maker who is no longer making suits, but he used a separating zipper, and it was the laziest zipper install I've ever seen. And it's not the first person you guys are thinking of, because even though that zipper was not installed well at all either, I think it was still a little bit better than this one. So I'm going to give you guys a little sewing tutorial. It's kind of hard to see, but essentially this is what it looks like when you sew a zipper on. You turn it with the teeth facing this way, or the opposite of the opening, and then you stitch it all the way down, and then this is very hard to explain. So once you have it stitched that way, whenever you fold the fabric out properly, it looks like this. So it covers up the actual zipper tape. How this guy did it was he just laid the zipper tape on it and just stitched it. Yes, you can do that. It's not the proper way, and it looks terrible, but yes, you can do that. But this was a $1,300 suit, so I would rather the zipper at the very least be installed. Now, it'd be one thing, okay, it'd be one thing if, like, the zipper had to be replaced, like maybe it was broken, something like that. No, this was brand new zipper that was just installed that way, and also it was a separating zipper that was just stitched all the way down, and because of how it was stitched down, I zipped it down all the way to get out of it, you know, because sometimes you gotta get out of these suits. and it separated, and I couldn't get them to come back together. I actually had to get my seam ripper and unstitch it a little bit just so I can get the teeth back together again. Absolute nightmare. So to all my suit makers, learn how to put in a zipper. It's not that hard. And when you get really good at it, you can do stuff like this. I really don't want to show this because I'm just letting you guys know. This is not something I'm going to offer on suits. I'm never going to offer it, but if someone wants it and is willing to pay extra for it, I'll be happy to put it on. I won't be happy, but I will put it on. I hate these stupid things. A P-flap. So this is literally a fly zipper. This suit is going to be worn with trunks, and so he can get away with whenever he puts the muscle suit in, because this is for Mike, so he's going to be doing his own muscles. He'll actually have the cod piece in the trunk, so I got to make those trunks for him. But so yeah, a fly zipper. So you can use the bathroom in your bat suits. I know it's like everyone's dream. You can also do other things with your Batawang while you're wearing the suit. Not that you should, but you could theoretically. Let's see. I love when Derek gets like that. Yeah, Derek gets a little ornery from time to time. Let's see. Ornery, not horny. That happens too, but that's some of y'all that aren't from the South may not know what that means. Enoch, worst co-host ever. He is. I love Enoch. Don't get me wrong. But he is the worst co-host ever. Why? Because we made the announcement that he was going to be a semi-permanent fixture on BatChat, and that was literally the last episode he was on. So he's fired. He is absolutely not going to be my co-host anymore. He has been reduced back down to special guest. Not even very special guest. He's just a special guest. I hope he's in the chat. Enoch, where are you, man? I got 5 people watching, 2 people commenting. By the way, if you're watching, comment. This is a live show. Comment on here. Let's chat. That's the whole point of this thing. But yeah, Enoch is the worst co-host ever. Man, he's taking some much needed time off. I don't blame him. He's been working 90 to nothing, honestly. He's been working his tail off. In fact, I've got 2 boxes from him. 2. The other one's not from him, but 2 boxes from him that I've yet to open. They're just full of muscles. Just boxes and boxes of muscles. He's been working his ass off because we've got a lot of orders and everything. So he's been working all that off and sent that over to me. And I got to start rolling through them. He already sent me a box that had like I think 3 muscle kits, and I've got to glue the rest of them up. So thankfully he is caught up. Now I've got to catch up. Which thankfully the next few suits are going to be pretty good. I've got one. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can move out of the way. Nope. Yeah, right. This guy right here. Got a suit for a Mr. Dale Matheson. I wonder if he is related to Luke Matheson. I don't think he's watching. I don't think he's watching, but that's a great suit. I'm really happy with how that one turned out. He's wanting to do some muscle shading, so very excited about that because I've got a new airbrush kit that I've been wanting to check out. So I'll be messing with that today. Dale, if you are watching this, I will test it on another suit. I'll probably test it on Aaron's suit because he doesn't care. I will test it on a suit before I actually do yours because I definitely don't want to mess it up. But yeah. Let's see. What suits are you going to do for yourself? That is an excellent question. I have no idea. I actually did make a suit for myself that I think turned out really good. I'm not going to mince words about it. I mean, it turned out really good. Here's my issue with it. I'm going to pat myself on the back. The suit turned out great. My issue with it was I had this idea. I was like, okay, I'm going to put all of my favorite Batman in this suit, okay? So I was going to do like some Pattinson in there, Arkham Origins. It's got Batfleck, obviously. The chest is pretty much a Batfleck chest piece. The abs are kind of like a Pattinson style with some Arkham Origins things. It's got shoulder pads on it that are reminiscent of Tim Drake's shoulder. Like, you know, he's got those things go across the shoulders. I know Pattinson has them too, but the inspiration for it was like the Tim Drake shoulder pauldrons. I actually did that out of black to really accent it, put some knee pads on it that are very reminiscent of I think that one might be from Arkham Origins too. Like I threw everything in and it turned out really, really cool. I put it on after working on it forever. It took forever to make that thing. And I put it on like, yeah, looks cool. It looks cool. If anyone wants it, I'll sell it to you. In fact, it's a custom suit. I'll put to you guys this way, okay? It's a custom suit. I've not glued it down to muscles yet, so if someone wants it, I can tailor it down to their size and fit its muscles. If someone wants it, it's a custom suit. My custom suits usually start about $1,000. Our basic suits go for $850. If someone wants that suit, I'll sell it to them at a basic suit price. Okay, because the work is essentially done. I mean, even if I have to tailor it, like it's not that hard to do that. So, if anyone's interested in a suit, they want like a cool custom suit, but they aren't quite sure if they want to spend the extra $150 to get. It starts at $1,000. Yeah, it does go up from there sometimes, but you know, if they don't want to spend the extra, like it's a really great suit. Here's my problem. I went through all that trouble, put it on there. I was like, man, I think I just want a basic gray suit. I do have the emblem for it. This is one that BatChat really likes. Don't want to show that too much, but I mean, it's a Norm Brayfocal emblem. Everyone does that, so or not everyone. There's not enough people that do that, but it's not like I'd be the first. So, but something I'm very excited about. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce this, but I'm going to anyway. Downsize, high tower. It'll probably fit you. Yeah, I mean, I know you're significantly taller than me, but the pattern that I use, the legs are really long. Like I have to chop off like 3 feet off the legs to fit me. So if you're interested, Arkham Knight, I'm serious. It will most likely fit you. You can send me your measurements and I'll be happy to double check. I've got, stuff I can pad out my mannequin, see how it fits you. So yeah, let me know. But something I'm not really sure that I'm allowed to announce, but I'm going to anyway, because none of them are watching because I have a horrible bat family that doesn't love me. We are doing a cool, like 90s, more classic, Batman, Bat family cosplay. So I'm going to be doing the classic kind of Norm Brayfocal style, oval emblem bat suit. I'm really excited. Willis, my buddy Willis, I'm making him a Disco Nightwing suit, but it's going to be a more, I don't want to say modernized, but it's like it's modernized. It's still very much the Disco Dick suit, which is what we call it, Disco Dick. So yeah, I'll send you a picture of it real quick. So it's still a Disco Dick suit, but it's very much it's got some cool elements to it that kind of set it apart, make it very unique. So I'm really, really excited about it. Let's see here if I've got some pictures for you, bud. I'll send you. I'll do you a couple better. So I'm sending you a picture of just the suit, and then of 2 emblems that I've got that I can put on there for you if you want. Anyway, so yeah, I just sent those over to you, Arkham Knight, so you can check them out. Anyway, moving on from that. So, and then we're doing a Tim Drake Robin for Little Wing that I'm very excited about. Lindsay is not. She's not getting a 90s Batgirl because 90s Batgirl would just be a wheelchair. I'm sorry. That's terrible. I guess you got Stephanie Brown, who was, you got to run. Okay, Chunk Mac, have a good one, buddy. But I guess Stephanie Brown was Batgirl for like 5 minutes in the 90s, so I guess I could send her that. But yeah, anyway, so she's going to be doing a kind of a Batgirl of Burnside style Batgirl, but out of navy blue instead of purple. So it looks great. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like it. It's a great suit. It really turned out good. I don't know. I'm very on the fence about it. I'm honestly thinking I might just glue it down to a set of muscles and just see if I fall in love with it then, because it's really hard. I'm sure you can tell from those pictures. Like, I'm wearing a muscle suit underneath it. It just doesn't, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. But what's funny is I've made myself several suits, and I have still not quite figured out how to make a suit for myself and look at myself in the mirror wearing it, be like, wow, I feel like Batman. I'll admit that I've had that feeling back when I was wearing other people's suits. And here's the problem. When you make it yourself, it's very, very hard to separate yourself from the making it aspect. Because when I make it, I know, God, that seam was a pain to get right, or whatever, just didn't want to line up, or man, just took all these issues. I see all the, oh man, I forgot to snip that thread. Aaron's gonna, say something about that, because there's constantly threads hanging off the suits. Because, like, you can definitely tell, by the way, I might do a BatChat one day live from the sewing machine. So because you can definitely tell when I start the project, because every single, like, this is, you don't know, when you sew, there's threads at the beginning and the end of the seam left over, and because you need a few inches of thread, whatever. Excuse me. Well, the first few seams don't have any, because I'm very good about trimming that thread off as soon as I get it done. It just looks super clean and it's perfect. And when you top stitch, same thing. Every time you make a seam, there's going to be threads left over. A good little sewer, or sewist, seamstress, seamster, whatever, sewing dude, a good one would just trim them every time. But when you look at that suit, there's a ton of seams on it. I get sick of that after a while, and I'm just going through, because if not, it'd take me twice as long. Even though it has to be done at some point, it feels like it's a lot easier just to grab them all and just boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. It's not you, that one. Yeah, that's my issue. It's just not really me. It's just not. I made my own chess piece, and we'll talk about it on FaceTime or Facebook after BatChat. Okay, after the weekend. I'm assuming you mean like after BatChat. That's cool. I mean, seriously, man. I mean, if you're interested, it's yours, man. For a nominal fee, of course. But we will have to talk about shipping as well, because I want to make sure that I can ship it to you, for one, because I know there's a few countries that I'm not able to ship to right now, but we can figure that out. The Cow Vault. Hey, Jaden, what's going on, buddy? That is Jaden, right? I don't want to mess that up, but I believe it's Jaden. Good to have you on, buddy. Was that you that was creeping? I saw there was a few people that were watching, and no one was commenting, except for Arkham Knight and Anth Callowayne. Anth Callowayne, am I saying your name right? I'm really sorry if I'm not. But anyway, the Cow Vault says, tomorrow. Gotcha. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, just let me know, man. I designed a Brave Vogel cowl. Interesting. For 3D printing based on the comic sketches. I wanted my version to be completely different from the Reeves effects sculpt. So I'll say this without sounding too disrespectful. I don't like the Reeves Brayfocal cowl. I will say that it is very accurate. Kind of. It's so hard to say when something is accurate. Because Reeves has a very unique style. And again, none of this is going to be backhanded compliments. Like, I'm being completely genuine here. Reeves has a very unique style. He is a very cinematic style, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, his hush cowl. I do like his hush cowl, but to me, it's not a hush cowl. It looks nothing like the comic. Like, that sounds mean, but just in my opinion, it doesn't look like the comic. Now, I can definitely see the homage. I can see, like, okay, if you were to show me, like, okay, if you were to show me the Reeves hush cowl, whether it be version 1 or version 2, I'd be like, what is that? Like, it's a cool, like, I can tell it's like a comic style Batman cowl, but comic style just means anything that's not the movie, okay? Or like the video game. Like, so, like, obviously it's a comic style, but I would not be able to tell you that it's hush based on just the aesthetic of it until you say that, like, oh, it's got like the little things on the ears and everything. Like, okay, I can see the hush. It's got the little tips here. I think does his have it? I know Hernandez does. But anyway, so yes, okay, now I can kind of see that. But to me, like, if they ever did a Batfleck Hush movie, that's the cowl that he would wear. Like, there's just no question. So it's more cinematic, if that makes sense. Like, if they were to make a live action Hush movie, especially like Batfleck, to me, it's got a lot of Batfleck vibes, or Kevin Porter vibes too. Like, that would be the cowl they use. Cool. It's not comic accurate though. Comic accurate is not a barometer for good. It's just preferencing. To me, Hernandez, without a doubt, has the best hush cowl. It is literally the hush cowl from the comic. Here's where that becomes tricky though. Like, when you're making a comic accurate cowl, and Jaden, I'm sure you can attest to this from when you were making yours based on the sketch. You're taking a 2-dimensional picture and trying to translate that in a 3D environment. That's hard to do. And there's a lot of things you got to keep in mind when you're doing it. Is because, like, yeah, you can maybe make it look cool from this angle, but when you turn your head slightly to this side, slightly to this side, completely changes. So it's very, very difficult. So I never want to sound like the kind of guy that's just like, oh yeah, this sucks because of blah blah blah, because there's a lot of design elements in there that, you know, that's hard. It is really hard. And I can say, like, I may like or dislike certain things. So, like, for instance, I'm not the biggest fan of Reeves' Brayfogle cowl. It's because he interpreted that design in his own way. I think for what he was going for, looks cool. Just not my preference. So, Jay and I would be very interested to see what yours looks like. More than likely, I will be wearing probably my Fabit cowl, alter ego. I really like that one. Or I do, speaking of Reeves, I do have a Vigilante cowl. Which to me, the Vigilante is a better looking version of his Brayfogle cowl. Funny enough, even though the Vigilante came first, but whatever. I've always loved the Vigilante cowl. So probably be wearing that, but I'll check it out. To me, my favorite part of the Brayfogle design was always the emblem. I like the kind of fat looking bat. Like, to me, that's like a Batfleck oval emblem, even though this is 30 years before Batfleck. Or, yeah, 30 years or so. I don't know. I just like it. Sorry, I had to turn down my volume there because I had to clear my throat and didn't want y'all to hear that. So, I'll send you a picture of it. It's one of the most difficult sculpts I've done. I'm sure hard to translate comics in real life. Yeah, just like I was saying. It's very, very difficult to do. So, I can definitely... I admire anyone who is ballsy enough to try, because that is very difficult to do. Especially someone like Brayfogle, because Brayfogle, like, I would imagine Jim Lee's kind of a similar struggle. The issue you run into is, like, he's such a great artist, and he's one of the cool artists. Like, to me, the 90s artists like Brayfogle, and even though Jim Lee, like, Hush was early 2000s, but Jim Lee was obviously huge in, like, the 80s and 90s, those guys draw awesome pictures. Those awesome pictures, once you start pulling the threads, going back to the previous conversation, but once you start pulling the threads of, like, how would this realistically translate, it makes no sense. Like, the anatomy of some of these really awesome looking pictures, like, it just makes no real world logical sense, but it looks awesome. Not to take away from them, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're an artist. You're drawing a comic book. You're supposed to make it look really cool. But when you start trying to like, okay, how do you make this fit like a normal human being? It makes it more difficult. Excuse me. So, and again, translating a 2D image to a 3D sculpture is not easy. So, Jaden, you are a brave soul. And I'm assuming it is Jaden because I asked earlier. And I don't think you responded. By the way, Jaden, are you the same Jaden who did the this cosplay couple Joker intro? Pretty sure you are. It's a small world, but I'm pretty sure you are. And you just messaged me on Facebook. Let's see this. I'll give you my live reaction here because I just saw you sent this. And then, you certainly look like the same Jaden from your profile picture here. In fact, I need to add you as a friend because I don't think we are friends, and we need to fix that. I need you to be my friend. I need more friends, basically. Let's see. Add you as a friend. Yes, that's you. Okay. I just sent you a friend request. Y'all heard my little girl giggle there. Let's see here. I have to like tap and approve all the images to show. Now that is pretty cool. It's got some it's got some like Keaton vibes too. I dig that. That looks really cool, man. I like the curve in the back. That's a very kind of Brayfogle kind of thing. Yeah, I dig that, man. Yeah, I can definitely imagine that being a pain to sculpt. Let's see. Anth Callawayne says, in my opinion, the best comic Cal to real life is the Fabric Cal people have been making. I would agree with you. I would say the Fabric and the Hush Cal from Hernandez are the best comic to real life adaptations. I will show you a modification you can do to the Fabric Cal. You could probably do it on the Hush Cal too. I've never tried it on the Hush Cal, but you can definitely do this on the Fabric Cal to make it more of a real life. Jaden, thank you so much for sending those pictures, man. That looks awesome. And I sent you a friend request on Facebook, by the way. So this is my Fabric Cal. You can't tell from the pictures, but this is actually blue. So the Fabric Cal, this is my issue with comic Cals. It's nothing to do with Alter Ego. This, again, is a preference thing. A design, not really even a design issue. It's just a design preference that I tend to not like a lot of comic style Cals because they're designed to use the white eye mesh. Hot take. I don't like using... It's not a hot take at all. That just sounds douchey. I'm sorry. Can I retract that? No hot take. This is my opinion. I don't like white mesh when you're wearing a Batman cowl. I think, man up, put your makeup on. I can definitely see, like, okay, I see the advantage of doing the white eye mesh. Here's the problem. It's really cool looking sometimes. But to me, my issue with it is 90% of the time when I'm cosplaying, I'm doing it for kids. I'm either doing a birthday party, a hospital visit, a charity thing. We did a church event a few weeks ago at this little country church. They were doing a little outdoor thing. It started raining. It was pretty bad. But anyway, I'm usually around kids. You can't do that around kids. Like the white eye mesh thing, kids need to be able to see your eyes. It's a psychological thing. Kids need to be able to see your eyes to trust you. And when you have just dead eyes or just the mesh, they can't see you. They can't trust you. Batman is scary enough as it is. Even with me being short, I'm still, Batman's imposing, this big figure. So, whenever you get something like that and they can't see your eyes, like it's not good. You want kids to be able to see your eyes. So on these like Hush Cals and these Fabric Cals, they have essentially eyelids built into the cowl, if that makes sense. so that when you put the mesh on, it's essentially like the same size as your pupil, if that makes sense. I trimmed mine. Now this one was trimmed by Phil at Alter Ego, so I appreciate him doing that. I'll put it on later. But you see the eye holes in this are slightly bigger, and this is how it looks. You guys know what these fabric cows look like. So as you can see, I've got bigger eye holes in this. I'm just going to do the rest of the episode in this cow. I need to put some foam in it because it's a little bit big on me. It's a 25-inch cow. I've never had a cow that's too big for me. But anyway, on this thing, when you get the eye holes a little bit bigger, obviously vision's much better. But so yeah. What was I saying? I was reading all these comments. So, when you make the eyes a little bit bigger, to me that looks a little bit more cinematic as opposed to more of a comic style. So it's kind of a hybrid. So this to me is the perfect hybrid movie style comic style cow. I'm actually going to go ahead and take this off. Woo. It's too hot to be wearing a cowl. Oh man, cowl hair is here to play. Cow hair has entered the chat. I've got a cowlick now. Get it, cowlick? It's looking great. Yeah, I love that cow. My hair's just going to be a mess. Sorry. I love that cow. And I think to me that looks a lot better for the more cinematic view. You totally don't have to do that, by the way. If you don't want to, the way Alter Ego sends them, it still has those eyelids. You can actually kind of get away with not having to use eye makeup. My issue is it still covers up a little too much of your eye. It's just a preference thing. I'm just not a big fan of that look. Okay? Nothing against those Alter Ego guys, obviously, because I love them. That's just my personal opinion. I don't like the way that looks, so I just trim the eyes. I trim the eyes on my black one, but Phil, again, going above and beyond because they're just absolute sweethearts, and I'm sure that's not just because it's me. Because this cowl was already a pain for them because I had them color match my navy cape, and that's such a hard color to get. So Phil was already kind of cussing me out because he hates color. He hates it when I'm ordering something, by the way, because I ordered gauntlets. Gauntlets are already hard enough to make as it is. So when I messaged him, I was like, hey, can you make them navy blue? He hates me. And then I sent him that fabric. He's like, what's this for? I was like, well, I need a fabric cowl. I need it to match this. He's like, oh, God, I hate you, Derek. So, yeah, those guys, they're too good to me. They spoil me. They really do. But anyway, he went ahead and trimmed it for me because he knows that's just a preference thing for me. So very, very sweet of him. And I'm sure that if you ask him to do the same, or Tom, just put in the notes whenever you order it, like, hey, do the eyes like Derek likes it. And they'll know what you're talking about. And to me, I think that, again, really does kind of give you that kind of comic look and kind of a real life look. So you could wear that on a DOJ suit, or you can do it on like a Hush suit, like whatever. Like you can totally pull that off. Oh, Jane's sending more stuff. Is this is that that cowl you just sent me, the one where it's black? Is that animated series? It kind of reminds me of the animated series, so I'm sorry if it's not. Oh, wait. Oh, the most difficult sculpt I've done was an animated one. Michael really liked that sculpt. He had my file for a while. I sent you pictures of that one too. Okay. So, again, that's a sign of a really great artist because I was able to tell what it was just based on this with no context because I didn't read your message. So, good job. That's you did what you were supposed to do as an artist. You conveyed what it was that you were going for. So, good job, man. Stuff looks great. Looks really good. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I've got no notes that I can think of. So it looks great. But you're right about the eyes. Yes. It's just in my experience. Some people are able to pull it off. I just haven't really been able to. It's midnight here, so it's time. Have to go. It's wife time. Oh, it's wife time. All right. Well, you have fun with wife time, and I'll keep my jokes to myself. I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap it up because we've been going a little bit over an hour. I don't know if you guys can hear my voice is starting to give out because I was singing earlier too, and and I was already kind of dealing with some allergies anyway. So I will end on this question, Kyle Wayne, because I just saw you sent this. Here's a question for everyone: how do you prefer your cape, draped over the shoulders like Keaton, or folded back over your shoulders like Batfleck or Battinson? To me, it depends on the suit. I think there's a huge advantage to having it draped over the shoulders for posing purposes. To me, I think it does look kind of cool, but you're able to actually like flail out the cape like Keaton, and people really like that. And if you've got rods in your cape, that like posing rods, when you open that cape up, everyone just goes, "Wow!" It looks really cool, and kids love it. It's really really cool. And so you kind of can do that with a Pattinson cape. I need to do, because I'm going to start making capes from now on, or capes from now on. I'm going to be offering capes soon. That's a better way of putting it. And so I want to do a whole video dedicated to capes, like the different capes that are available, the advantages of different ones, and let you know, and let you guys know kind of what to expect. So an 8-panel comic style cape is really cool because you can pose with it, do all these really cool things, and you can do a lot more with it. A folded cape, like a Batfleck style cape, because there's a couple different ways you can do the folded look. The Pattinson is more of a hybrid. We'll talk about that in a second. But the Batfleck cape, to me, I think that looks the best because, you know, this if you do it right, the stitches or the folds are like stitched in, so it stays permanently folded and looks really really good. And to me, it just always looks really nice and neat. The folds are always symmetrical. Like, it's really really nice looking. The issue is you have limited posability with it because due to the nature of the Batfleck cape, if you're doing a true Batfleck cape, it's not really meant to be opened up like a Keaton cape. Okay. You can do a hybrid of the two where you take an 8-panel cape. How many panels are you going to make? However many you want. Typically 6 or 8. That's typically how you would do it. You can, and a DOJ is typically a 6-panel cape. So you can do an 8-panel folded cape where you essentially just take an 8-panel cape and then stitch it in the back to where you put the folds in, stitch it in the back, and it looks kind of similar to Batfleck. It's very hard to explain the difference between the two. That's why, again, I want to make a video showing you the difference so you guys can see. And when you go to order a cape from me, you'll be able to know which one would be best for you. But with that one, you still get the folded back look. They don't look quite as good as the Batfleck style, but they look good. And they'll stay in place, but you still have some posability. So, and that is very, very, very similar to how Pattinson's is. Now, Pattinson's cape is very complicated because it's actually double layered. So it's leather on both sides, and it's got a lot more pleats in it than a Batfleck style cape. So I'm not as familiar with that one, but I know a few people have made it, and it's a very complicated cape to do. But essentially, the oversimplified answer is the design is like what I just described. It's like a comic style cape with the pleats sewn in, whereas like a Batfleck cape, you pretty much have to know from conception that that's the cape you're making, because like the pattern's totally different if you want to do it accurate. If you're doing a Batfleck cape, you know, it's a very different kind of process. When you're making that, so it's just to each his own. I've got both. I like both. So, yeah. But how many panels am I going to make? I'll make as many as you need. I have had John make me a 10-panel cape in the past that actually closes down the front, which is really cool. So, and then I asked him, said, can you make me an animated series cape that is a 10-panel so it closes down the front and is blue on the inside? And he told me to F off because it's absolute pain to do. So, which is funny because I'm actually going to be making him an animated series suit, and I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for him to say, like, hey, why don't you go ahead, remember when you asked me to do that? I want you to make it now so you know how much of a pain it is. So we'll see if he actually does it. But guys, I am going to go ahead and head on out of here. it is time for me to go and rest my voice a little bit and relax because I'm tired. And I do appreciate you guys staying in the chat and for all the great questions and everything. Really do appreciate that very much. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We will see you next weekend. I should be able to. Yeah. We'll see you next weekend. Typically, I would do this Saturdays at 2 p.m. Central, but again, I had a gig that lasted till 2, so I had to tear down and then get over here. So, yeah. So, but ideally, Saturdays, 2 p.m. is when we're going to be doing this. So, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. See you next time.